The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan. Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlvib hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifirit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept? Thank you.
We can't very well send him to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola, can we, Minfilia?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies, tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward. Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Hail, adventurer, and welcome to Maelstrom Command. If you wish to know more about enlisting, unless you are the guest we were told to expect, to business, then. It is as we told the antecedent. The kobolds have once again summoned Titan. A little over a moon ago, we began to observe the beastmen moving south in increasing numbers from Ogomora. Our scouts subsequently confirmed the object of their aggression. Crystals. Fodder for their fell primal. Thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Word has spread of your accomplishments, Cater. On behalf of Limsa Lominsa, I thank you for heeding our call. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address Cater personally. We are no strangers to conflict. Long have the Sahajan and the kobolds plagued our people, nor is this the first time we have had to address the primal threat. In the past, when Titan rose to threaten the peace, it was to the company of heroes we turned. But they are long disbanded, and we must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So it is that we turn now to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Limsa's best hope. I hope you are right. Yet the situation is far from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the thalassocracy make a pact with the beastmen that each would keep to their own lands, and that no blood would be shed? And was it not the Lominsans who violated this agreement, dissatisfied with their lot? Shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. I would advise you to choose your words with greater care, Lady Y'shtola. Stand down, High Commander. She has the right of it. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it. Yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from Titan's wrath, or would you have us fall upon our swords? My apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Limsa Lominsa's citizenry are, of course, of paramount concern. Already, we have observed disruptions in the flow of ether further inland. The effects will be felt here in the city ere long. I ask much of you, I know, but the need is great. Can I count on your help, Cater? You have my thanks, along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. That the Kobolds should summon Titan demonstrates they are no longer amenable to negotiation. This being the case, we must needs prepare for conflict. Before we meet Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can of our foe. And I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. The company of heroes may be no more, but several of its former members still live. It is said that one of them is employed at the Greyfleet Mills in Lower Lanacy. Quite why a mercenary should choose to become a miller, I do not know. When you find him, mayhap you could ask him for me. I, meanwhile, shall seek his fellows. The Company of Heroes is the most celebrated mercenary band in the history of Eorzea. Even so, I must admit I have never before met one of their members face to face. I imagined that a warrior who had toppled both Titan and Leviathan would seek to bask in a lifetime of fame and glory, yet he seems to have settled in a place distinctly bereft of adoring crowds.
Lay down your burdens, son, come drain a pint with me, we'll have a grand old time, find ya a lass or three. Ya gonna say something, venturer, or just keep staring, Ed? Ya want to know about the Company of Heroes? Ah hells. Price of bleedin' fame. Can't a miller mill in peace no more? Still, seein' as ye be come all this way, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to oblige yet. Consider yourself lucky, mate. Old Traketum was the company's best axeman. Now, what was it ye wanted to know? Gahaha. So, ye want to hear the tale of how the Company of Heroes bested a primal, do ye? Let me guess, ye mean that bastard Titus, hot. Oh, if only ye'd been there to see it. 'Twas a mighty struggle, like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights, we did. The ground trembled with every step Titus took, and when he hit yet, boy, it felt like a cannonball to the gut. Ugh. Just like that. Boy, what's that look for? I'm a god's damned hero, I'll have you know. The people round here sing me praises. Don't tell me you only care about learning the secret tactics we used to beat old Titus. Well, too bad, cause now I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so damn desperate, then why don't ya do me a favor and kill those rats that made a nest by the windmill just south of here? Do that, then we'll talk. So the beasties are dead, are they? Nice work, venturer. Saved me the hassle of, never mind. What? Yeah, still a skin about how we beat Titus? I dunno, venturer. It was a pretty risky strategy, the kind only a veteran of 10 score battles could rely upon. I want to teach ya, I truly do. But unless ye prove ye have what it takes to face that fat bastard, I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, ye'd need to be capable of slayin', say, a gaboo. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. Them creatures have a taste for the flour milled here, so ye ought to have no trouble findin' one in the vicinity. Course, I ain't a skin yet to cut one down quick as a skilled axeman like meself. Anyroad, why don't ye try head and due west and stand and look out case a gaboo comes callin'? Slay it, and I might consider tellin' ye more about old Titus.
The company of heroes. I imagined that a...
Ed. You again? Then that gaboo that was harassin' the Millers is dead? Didn't think ye had it in ye, venturer. Still, you took forever and a day to get the job done. I'm still not sure if I should tell you our secrets. So, as I was saying, I still don't know if ye got what it takes to face Titus. Maybe if ye slew a Trake to him. You in here drinking again? If you are, that gaboo had better be dead. Oh, it's dead, Chief, ye have me word on that. Cleave the beast's skull in two with me trusty axe, I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend here say if I ask him? He'll vouch for me, of course. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true, was it Drake Toom who slew that gaboo, or was it you? Chief. What are ye saying? It's me, Drake Toom, the finest axeman ever to serve in the company of heroes, the legendary mercenaries who slew that bastard Titus. Titus. Who in the seven hells is Titus? Some primal you fought in a drink-sodden dream. The company of heroes slew Titan, you bloody half-wit. Well, see, Titus was what me and the lads used to call him. That's the biggest load of Sahajanchite I've ever heard. Both of you, outside. We'll learn the truth the Lamansan way. Drake Toom, if you didn't slay that gaboo, you may consider your contract revoked. Alright, you know the rules. First man to smash his boulder will be judged the gaboo slayer. And don't even think about trying to kill me. That's cheating. Who picked these boulders? They're nothing alike. The hell's with it. Let the contest begin. How ya doing, mate? Feeling a bit stiff, by any chance? You're still at it? Bugger me, it's lucky I've got one of these. Only killing's against the rules. Alright, I admit it. I lied about Bane in the company of heroes. But I'm begging ya, Chief, please don't dismiss me. I've learned me lesson, honest I have. Save your blubbering, Drake Tomb. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please. I didn't want to deceive ya, I swear. It's just that I kept getting turned away by all the folk I asked for work, and I panicked. See, the last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I heard he was a captain in the company of heroes, I finally understood why. I wasn't being serious when I said I was one of them. But ye went and believed me, so I, er. Look, his name was Weiskaen, alright. Weiskaen. He'll tell you how to defeat Titus or whatever the hell's that thing's name is. That's what ye wanted, ain't it? So come on, then. Tell the chief to forgive me. It's only fair. Pardon. You wish to slay the Lord of Crags.
We must slay him, Captain. The people of Limsa are depending upon us.
You fancy yourselves heroes, then, just like in the tales?
Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours. And my associate here has bathed in Ifirit's hellfire and lived. He is blessed with a power that protects him from primal influence. Thus was he able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno. We know full well the risks, and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray be so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way.
A man who can't be tempered? Useful, but it will not be enough. It is true that the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was fought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. We defeated him, in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed.
Believe what you will. We mean to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan.
You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserve better than the greeting I gave you. But I will not send you into Ogomora on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances that you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Gagerig's estates. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by attending to one of our...
Ye gods, man, have you heard nothing I have said? We have not the time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates.
Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, then you are welcome to find your own way into Ogomora.
Though it pains me to admit it, I fear we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet much remains to be done if we are to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use the time to see to the remaining preparations.
Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well.
Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Limsa hangs in the balance.
Master Gagerach's requests can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you to your true task, I would like to verify that this won't be a waste of my time. A Nyx has recently been seen prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want large slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring it out with herring. Slay the Nyx and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. Well, did you deal with the Nyx? Lest you think me overly cautious for testing you in this way, you should know that we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed to have served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyway, now that the pointless busy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befits your talents. Two highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gagerach wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Gagerach desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast. And so, Cater, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. Naturally, such fine dining must be accompanied with a suitable wine. And by suitable, I mean the very best there is. That, however, can wait for the time being, as I believe you have enough on your plate as it is. It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Land Enel at Camp Tranquil. What? Do you mean to tell me that you cannot afford to waste time, as your associate did? Adventurer, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. Do you require assistance, adventurer? So this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you, Cater. The ingredient you seek is the egg of a giant adamant wasp. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest, of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Most who try die in the attempt. Will I help you get it? Ah, you amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position by openly assisting you. From me you will receive only information. What you do with it is your choice. Let me be clear, this business between you, me, and the captain must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time spent with the company in the slightest. Traveling the world, meeting interesting people, killing them, it was all jolly good fun. Alas, Gridanians are, by and large, an unforgiving lot, Ditto here being a rare exception. I've had to go to great lengths to ensure that I am seen as a model citizen, with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities I so dearly miss. So understand that if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails and hang you from the nearest heaven's pillar. Well, what are you waiting for? There's a perfectly good adamant was egg in a nest to the east of here, just ripe for the taking. Not that I expect you to live long enough to claim it. The mother never strays far from the child, and you will surely be attacked the moment you lay hands upon the egg. There will be other heroes, Cater. You do not need to challenge Titan. Abandon your quest, or your corpse will rot in this swamp. I thought you might have the good sense to leave this place. By your continued presence, I take it you intend to persevere to the bitter end. Ahahaha. Such bravery, such recklessness. That will serve you well against Titan. Leave the egg with me, I'll see that it gets to the captain. You should make haste to Southern Van Allen. In Forgotten Springs, you will find a man named Uagnan. He will be your next guide. Safe travels, Cater. State your business, adventurer. Ha ha ha. So this is the one Wisecaed sends me. I haven't the foggiest what he sees in you, and until I do, you will receive no aid from me. Persistent bugger. Very well, let's have a look at you. You've seen your share of battle, there's no mistaking that. And you did manage to obtain that adamant was egg. However, that was not more than a display of brute force and blind courage. The nun I once fought also believed that his strength would save him. He was wrong, and now I am none. Many years ago, I joined the company of heroes to hone my skills, instead of challenging my predecessor before I was ready. Even when I was young, I understood that victory goes to the patient, the cunning, the pragmatic. That is why I claimed my position, and it is why I still hold it. And it is why I will not help it unproven well. The children of the sands do not offer aid to strangers. To do so is a sign of weakness. However, if you were recognized as a skilled hunter in your own right, it would be permissible to assist you. Across the desert to the east lies an Amalja encampment. There dwells a warrior renowned both for his strength and his guile. To even face this Amalja in battle, you must first find a way to lure him away from the encampment. This will be your test, to draw out and defeat the veteran. For this, I will offer you no advice, only this worn spear. Why, you ask? You will have to solve that riddle yourself. Now go, slay this old warrior and bring to me his necklace. Tell me, adventurer, is our old nemesis dead? Tis a fine necklace, as befits a veteran of countless battles. It will make an excellent trophy. The spear? It belonged to one of his brothers. I knew when he spied it from afar, he would be unable to resist venturing outside the encampment to see for himself. Did you discern my intent, or was it dumb luck, I wonder? Ha ha ha. Either way, you impress me, adventurer. I shall tell you of the ingredient you seek. A shame we did not meet when I was still with the company of heroes. You would have made a fine recruit. But no point dwelling on what cannot be. You have a well-wick worm to hunt. Sandworms slither brazenly across the desert dunes, but well-wick worms are far fewer in number. Rarity breeds demand, and so their meat is highly prized as a delicacy. The only way to catch your quarry is to entice it with something it cannot resist. These worms prey on the smaller creatures of the Segoliot. A freshly slaughtered angler carcass would be my choice of bait. There is an area teeming with anglers to the east. I will mark it upon your map, along with the location where well-wick worms are most frequently sighted. Be warned, the blood will drive the worm into a feeding frenzy. If your skills are lacking, it will devour you as well. You look well. Have you caught your quarry, then? Your skills as a hunter rival those of our best. I applaud your success, Cater. The meat will need to be heavily smoked before I ship it to Wisehead. Worry not, you have my word that he will receive it in time for the banquet. You must be eager to obtain the third ingredient. I regret to say that I know naught of its location. For the nonce, you should return to Costa del Sol and seek Wisehead's counsel. Ah, but hold a moment. Since you will be meeting the captain again soon, there is something I would like you to deliver to him for me. The captain was always fond of this brandy wine. I would be grateful if you could deliver it on my behalf. I was a reckless, angry youth when I first joined the company, and he would have been well within his rights to cast me out. Everything I have I owe to his wisdom and generosity. Wisehead was a firm yet fair teacher, an expert molder of men. And I suspect that is still the case now. Please give him my regards, Cater. Well met, Cater. Land Enel and Uagnon both spoke highly of you. What brings you here today? Ah, my favorite. I shall have to thank the nun personally. Now, you have but one ingredient left. Fortunately, you will not have to travel to Aldnar this time to obtain it. Truth be told, I never intended for you to collect this last ingredient. Brayflox, my old quartermaster, wished to bring it to Costa del Sol herself. However, not long ago, she sent word that there's been some trouble at the long stop, and that the delivery would be delayed indefinitely. She told me nothing of the incident itself, but I fear the situation may be dire. Though I would like nothing more than to aid her myself, I have no choice but to turn to you and your allies. Make haste to Hidden Falls docks and speak with Ocean Nazun. He will direct you to Raincatcher Gully, where Brayflox and her people have made their home. What's the hurry, venturer? Something happen over at the Gavi settlement? I don't know why you're so eager to help a bunch of beastmen, but go and talk to the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry yet to Raincatcher Gully.
We're going to Raincatcher Gully. Are you coming along?
PSHHH. Shkoh. Tongue flaps of Wyskaet be reaching ears of brave locks. Uplander is come for tasty fresh gobia treats, yes. Quest prize of Uplander deep in long stop. Flighty beast chased Gobby flock from homes. Gobby flock needs goodly Uplander give safety to long stop with much hand lending. Shko. Gobby flock in danger. Uplanders take gate key. Open head gate. PSHHH. Shko. Goodly Uplander has thanks of Gabi flock. Flighty Beast was tricksy foe, but Uplander outwitted with plans making. Uplander has goodly head for fighty thing. Brayflox Happy gives tasty fresh Gabia treats to clever Uplander. Cheese is stinky sweet Gabia treat. Special make with secret Gabi ears. No party complete without Gabi Kuda, Brayflox Everisic. I gather you solved Brayflox's little problem. By the gods, that unholy stench. This is, definitely goblin cheese. Judging from the smell, this should be quite flavorful. How is it made? It's best you remain ignorant of such things. I still remember when I learned what kind of milk they use. Bravo, Cater. Thanks to you, our guests shall be honored with a marvelous banquet. But what good is an exotic feast without an equally exquisite apéritif? Luckily, I know just the person to ask. Make your way to Wineport and seek out Chamonix Lomani, another former member of the company. All you have to do is give him this order slip. He'll take care of the rest. Oh, and if you're wondering if this is merely a ploy to test your patience, I assure you I do actually need that wine. And while you're there, give Chamonix Lomani my regards. Sweat, grime, and blood. You reek of blood. An adventurer, unless I am mistaken. What brings you to Wineport? An order? Let me guess, a request for the finest vintage I can muster. The paper smells of loam and perfume. Costa del Sol. And there is also the unmistakable odor of goblin cheese. Yes, Master Gageraju would not settle for anything less than the best. Durst Whites and his crew must be quite busy preparing an exotic feast, hence his decision to rely on an adventurer. but perhaps you are confused. This display of deduction was not intended to impress you. When one loses his vision, he is forced to compensate in other ways. But you've no interest in my affairs, you wish only to discuss the wine, I suspect. Life can be so delightfully unpredictable. I always had a passion for wine, but it wasn't until I was forced to retire that I could pursue it as more than a mere hobby. It wouldn't have been possible if not for the savings I amassed during my time as a mercenary, of course. Say what you will about the nature of that work, none can deny that it pays well. Ah, but you grow impatient, and Wisecat must have his wine. Herein lies the problem, nothing in my possession is of sufficient quality for this occasion. The best vintages in town are hoarded by Berglaint, who owns and operates the largest winery in Vilbrand. Somehow, I doubt he will be receptive to your request, but given these circumstances we must needs beg his assistance. What rank amateur bottled this wine? The impurities have rendered it nigh undrinkable. Dismissal is too good for the man responsible, he should be made to drink every drop of his polluted swill. What is it? I am in the middle of an important discussion, and I do not care for interruptions. That neophyte vintner bid you speak with me? Ah. Neither you nor your friend has the palate to appreciate the subtle qualities of my private stock. I would sooner serve you Kabul urine than sell you my worst vintage. Begone from my sight. I take it he said no, really, in those words. Well, I cannot say that I am surprised. While there's no denying his passion and skill, the wine baron of Limsa is not a man known for his tact. Very well. We shall have to take an alternative approach. There is a chance, however small, that another resident of Wineport can furnish us with a suitable wine. In fact, had you come several years ago, I guarantee this would not be a problem. Alas, the quality of our product has declined significantly in recent years. The only breeds cultivated these days are common lowland vines. Which isn't to say that their grapes are of poor quality, only that we have known better. Long ago, the vignerons of Wineport crossbred several species, and produced a grape-bearing vine of never-before-seen quality. Bacchus grapes were once the pride of this town, as they were used to produce vintages which surpassed all others. This includes the most aromatic, the most complex, the most flavorful of all wines, the legendary Bacchus wines were born right here in Wineport. Ahem. Pardon my enthusiasm. You see, I once had the privilege to sample that particular wine. It was an otherworldly experience. In that moment, I felt as though I had tasted the nectar of the gods themselves. I transcended my mortal flesh, and was one with all creation. But, as is all too often said, the calamity changed that. The Bacchus vineyards were completely destroyed, along with much of the existing stock of Bacchus wine. What little remains is closely guarded by its owners, for it can no longer be made. If we cannot convince Berglaine to part with his wines, our next best option, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to find someone who has a bottle of Bacchus wine, and to offer them every gill we can spare. I've heard rumors that one of the vignerons tending the vineyards might have once owned a bottle. Perhaps you could start by speaking with them. Bacchus wine? Bah, don't remind me, used to have a cellar filled with the stuff. Thought I could keep the wine safe from thieves and the elements. Never counted on a bloody primal blowing up my god's damned house. What? Do I have Bacchus wine? I wish. I never had the chance to try it myself. Sorry, friend, but you're a few years too late. No luck. Most regrettable, but we had to try. But Bacchus wine would have been perfect for the occasion. Though, I must confess, my certitude could be due in part to my personal history with the beverage. It is, after all, the very reason I decided to become a vintner. After Titan blinded me in our battle beneath Ogomora, I fell into a deep depression. It wasn't until I tasted Bacchus wine for the first time that I realized there was still so much I could experience, even in my condition. It helped me to find a new direction in life. It breaks my heart to think that wondrous ambrosia which once filled me with hope may be forever lost to us. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there is much I miss about my life with the company of heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. Have no fear. I swear that I shall find a suitable wine for the banquet, though I may need some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there is a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrand as a vagabond drunk. I suspect I was looking for a place to die, because I very nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Dreas took me in and nursed me back to health. And it was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me to find my new calling. Though I am am still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I would like him to know that I am pursuing my dream. This wine is my own original creation, and I would be most grateful if you delivered it to him in my stead. Dreas sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Ritskald can tell you where to find him. Dreas. Oh, you mean the hermit. I toss him a few gil when we need an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk about himself, and I sure as hells don't ask. When a man's got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone. What do you want? Wine. I didn't ask for this. Who sent you? I. Can't sleep. They won't let me sleep, the midges. The buzzing, it keeps me awake. I'm not. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please, make the buzzing stop. Make the midges go away. It's not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me. Even after what my comrades and I did to your country. We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others. No one else survived. I didn't ask for this, damn it. I'm not even Garlean. They conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer yours. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home. I wish to thank Chamonix for the wine. That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Earlier today at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from nearby palm trees. If placed in coconut shells and stored for a few bells' time, it makes for a fine wine. See. It should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please, take them to Chamonix for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope to one day do the same. It has been some time, Cater. What news do you have of Dreist? Ah, yes, I recall he did have some knowledge of winemaking. A simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural properties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We are not so different, Dreist and I. Two men who have long struggled not to let our scars define us. I worry that he has been alone with his thoughts for far too long. It is past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, Cater. By the gods. Cater, listen. I know you're eager to wash your hands of this wine business, but I've just discovered something extraordinary about Dreist's palm wine. He sealed each coconut shell with a leaf which has a very distinct shape and unusual odor. I thought I was going mad at first, but now I'm certain, these are the leaves of a Bacchus grapevine. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in Raincatcher Gully, the legendary vine still grows. If we could obtain a cutting, we could revive the Bacchus wine industry. We must know where Dreist found these leaves. Here, take one of them back to him and see what he remembers. Oh, hello again. What is it? It's just a leaf, isn't it? I only chose it because it was pretty. Didn't know it was rare. I found them near the Juggernaut to the south. But, I didn't see any grapevines. I saw fresh gubo tracks, though. Maybe the leaves came from vines growing on the back of one such beast? If you go looking for it, please be careful. What did Dreist have to say, Cater? Tell me everything. Ahaha, I was right. This smell, this texture. I hold in my hands a Bacchus grapevine cutting. Come now, enough of this nonsense. I've heard talk of your discovery, and I refuse to believe that a common adventurer and a novice vintner could. As my witness, it is a Bacchus grapevine. Wherever did you find this fantastic specimen? What? You would offer this to me? But what? There is none better positioned to reconstruct the Bacchus vineyards than you, Master Berglaint. You have the resources, the knowledge, and the passion to do so. It would be selfish of me to keep this cutting. I never knew you cared so deeply about your craft. Thank you, good sir. I will not squander this gift. In just a few years' time, I swear that every tavern across Eorzea will once again be clamoring for a cask of Wineport's legendary Bacchus wine. Sir, You needn't, wait. The shape of this bottle, the scent of this label. This couldn't possibly be a 1547 Bacchus. But that's impossible. This vintage has not been seen since years before the calamity. It was the crown jewel of my personal collection. For years, I debated opening it, wondering if today or tomorrow would be the ideal time. But now I realize that it was never meant for me. It should be savored by the saviors of wine port, I say. He has made us an offer we cannot refuse. Master Gajiraju will find no finer wine. You have forever changed wine port, Cater. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. But do not permit me to delay you any longer. Pray deliver the wine to Captain Weiskan. Well, yes, I would very much like to drink it. But I am a patient man. I have faith that one day I shall have another opportunity to taste perfection.
Greetings, Cater. I thought it fitting that I seek you out and offer my gratitude for all that you have accomplished.
Your prolonged absence was beginning to concern me. So, what of the wine I asked you to bring? Is that 7 hells, a 1547 Bacchus? Even I know how rare that is. I have to admit, I didn't think you had it in you. But congratulations, Cater. Thanks to you, this will be the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol has seen in years. Considering the lengths you went to, I hope our guests appreciate it. Speaking of which, your associate arrived a short while ago. She appears to be growing somewhat impatient. Perhaps you could tell her that the banquet is about to begin?
You have the look of a man who has been to the 7th hell and back. That a guest should be expected to supply the victuals for a banquet held in his own honor. And this while the shadow of Titan looms over us all. It beggars belief. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, I fear I should have accepted my lot with less grace.
Lady Weishtala, Sir Braddock. A thousand pardons for this extreme discourtesy. I was wholly unaware of your true identity, sir. Had I known, I would never have permitted my man to subject you to such unspeakable ordeals. Come now, he must have sensed something was amiss. You didn't seriously think I would send you running the length and breadth of Eorzea for a banquet, did you?
Spare him your mockery, Captain. Your intent was unclear to me until this moment. And unlike me, Cater has no knowledge of your traditions. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten him.
Fair's fair. There's no sense hiding it any longer. We 5 were chosen by our brothers and sisters, and before the company of heroes disbanded, we each swore a solemn oath that any who would follow in our footsteps must be weighed and measured, not by their reputation, but by their deeds. Each man would judge these would-be God-slayers by his own criteria. If even one found him wanting, he would be rejected without a second thought. But if he proved himself worthy, we swore that we would do our utmost to support his cause. The world has ever been full of brave souls eager to give their lives for a righteous cause, but all too few capable of making a difference with their sacrifice. To send wave after wave of hapless adventurers into the jaws of a foe against whom they have no hope of victory is worse than futile. Titan is not one to be challenged lightly, and we will not be complicit in the deaths of the unworthy.
Which is why the 5 of you deigned to test Cater with such commendable thoroughness. Time well spent, I am sure. But tell us, Captain, what is the assessment of you and your fellows?
He's a brave one, that much is certain. He willingly walked into the midst of danger, despite my repeated warnings that it could cost him his life. His skill is undeniable. He stalked his prey as relentlessly as any child of the sands, and struck with precision when an opportunity presented itself. Too many adventurers these days care only for fortune and glory. Cater, however, is a kind and generous soul. I am certain he has no shortage of loyal allies who will gladly fight at his side. PSHHH. Chko. Wily Uplander is talentful plansmaker. Tricksy foe for mighty rockman. I can only concur with my colleagues' assessments. We 5 of the company of heroes hereby judge you a worthy challenger. Cast down the Lord of Crags, Cater Braddock, and write a new chapter in the history of Eorzea. With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends, for today we celebrate the birth of a new legend, Cater Braddock, Titan's Bane. Cater Braddock, Titan's Bane.
Greetings, Cater. I thought it fitting that I... Congratulations, sweetling. Now relax and enjoy the show, it's only just begun.
Seeing everyone again like this brings back such fond memories. I wonder if any of them would be interested in reforming the company. PSHHH. Chko. Tasty fresh treats are plentiful in belly of brave flocks. It feels wonderful to be with the others again. I wish this day would never end. It has been too long since I last set foot outside Forgotten Springs. Passing the time with old friends and old wine. Today is a good day indeed. It looks like your training is going well. You must needs further your mastery of the techniques of Eld, for the sake of both Broken Mountain and Curious Gorge. Curious Gorge looked after his brother day and night while he was recovering. It's a godsend he's been able to recover so wholly. I'll do whatever I can to help him, as I'm sure you would. Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehend its fleeting nature, and cry out to the heavens in celebration. When you face the Lord of Crags, think not of Limsa or Zia, or anything beyond his chamber. Think only of the men and women by your side. Fight for them, and they will fight for you. Remember that no great victory was ever achieved alone. PSHHH. Chko. Goodly Uplander must be facing mighty Rockman with clever fighty think. Gabi Flock cannot be coming to rescue this time. Ah, Cater, you brave fool. Promise me that when you meet Titan, you'll look him in the eye and tell him Land Enel sends his regards. You are a veteran of countless battles, Cater. This is but one more. Trust in your experience, and you will prevail. You are blessed with the fortitude to rival the earth itself. Titan will struggle to break you, I think.
You are kind to indulge them, Cater. This banquet is as much for the company as it is for you, whatever they may claim. I do not deny that they mean well, but now is scarcely the time for celebration. Though they have all but pronounced you the victor, the battle with Titan has yet to begin. The hour has come for the good captain to make good on his promise. We must speak with him again.
You must be eager to face Titan. As promised, we will show you the way. Travel to Bronze Lake in Upper Lonacy. There you will meet with Ryal, another man who once served with the company. To ensure that this knowledge does not fall into the wrong hands, he will remain in hiding until you have given the correct signal. Give me your map. You must whistle loudly at the 3 locations I mark. Only then will he appear to meet you at this 4th location. I realize this may seem excessive now, but you will see that it is more than reasonable once you comprehend the risks inherent in our method. Greetings, mate. Might you be the one the captain said would come, Callan? I thought so. Pay attention, now, cause I ain't explainin' meself twice. Years ago, when we was weighing up how to get to Titan, one of our scouts stumbled across this beastman at the rate, see. What's that look for? Not familiar with them?
He speaks of an unamplified Ifirit which has been claimed by a beast tribe. Lest you wonder, there is no fundamental difference between such Ifirits and those which you have used on countless occasions, Cater.
Ah, well if it ain't the Charlayan lass. Welcome back.
Forgive me for interrupting. I had planned to await your report, but I succumbed to curiosity. The tunnels beneath Ogomora form a bewildering labyrinth that no outsider has ever fully explored. How the company of heroes managed to navigate it is a mystery I have long pondered.
Give us a bit of credit, love. We weren't daft enough to try going in the front. The kobolds are always digging new tunnels and filling the old ones with traps. One wrong step, and the next thing you know, you've got 100 tons of rock on your noggin. Suicide to even try, see. Funny thing was, the kobolds didn't seem to have no trouble finding their way round, and it was that as got us thinking. I mean, Ugamaro mines are like a bleedin' city, ain't they? And getting around in a city that big would be a right pain in the arse if you didn't have an Ethernet, wouldn't it? So it stood to reason that the kobolds must have one, didn't it?
Even if there were Ifirit shards in the depths of Ogomora, you would have needed to attune yourselves to them before you could identify their signatures within the life stream.
Well, that's where you're wrong, love. We had this Charlayan bloke to help us, see. Delivered us right into Titan's bedchamber, he did. I don't rightly know how he did it, but I do remember him saying it weren't nothing any Charlayan scholar worth her salt couldn't manage.
Did he now? Locating a beacon in the absence of a known signature might be possible if the Ifirits in question happened to be. Yes. But in order to guide a traveler to said beacon safely, a second party would be required to. It is possible, in theory at least. Yet I cannot be certain until I try. Plainly, all will depend upon whether or not I am worth my salt.
Oh, you are, lass. Don't you worry about that. Have a bit of faith in yourself. Why don't we all go to Zelma's Run and take a closer look at the Ifirit? It ain't far, though there's sure to be a few kobolds blocking the way. Not ya can't handle, mind.
So this is the Ifirit the company of heroes used to gain access to Titan's sanctuary. It is as Pavolimo speculated. In its present state, this Ifirit's signal will not be strong enough for our purposes. I may, however, be able to use my own energies to amplify it. Alas, the task will monopolize my attention for the duration. It seems you will have to proceed without me, Cater. I must needs remain here and supplement this beacon's power, lest you be denied your only path of escape. Fear not, I will summon the Maelstrom forces stationed nearby to protect us. With effort, it is possible that I may be able to stabilize the Ifirit's signal and thereby join you, albeit belatedly. Until such time as I do, you will be on your own. let us see if I am worth my salt. I have located another beacon, one far below the mountain. I can only speculate as to what you will find there, so stint not in your preparation. I must needs remain here to ensure that you have a means of egress. As I told you, we have no way of knowing what awaits you at the beacon, so be sure to prepare yourself prior to departing.
Look, an overdweller. Yes, yes, an invader from above. He uses our Ifirites against us. He has defiled Titan's sacred sanctuary, trespassed, violated, defiled. Overdwellers must leave. Overdwellers must fly. Brothers and sisters, fear him not. His fate shall be decided by the Lord of Crags. Hear me, Overdweller. You and your treacherous brethren must be held to account for the breaking of the covenant. You shall be first to face judgment. Then Limsa and her oath breakers, liars, betrayers, oath breakers. O great Father, Lord of Crags. Titan, we summon you. Titan, we summon you, O great Father, Lord of Crags. Titan, we summon you. Titan, we summon you. He is come. He is come. The Lord of Crags, Titan is come. Overdweller, art thou deaf to their weeping? Thy vile kind covetate ever the blessing of the land and murdereth my children by the score, all in service to greed. Such sins are beyond pardon. Ah, but I am not the first to suffer thy defiance. Thou didst bring Ifirit low. Godless overdweller. Thy myriad heresies shall not go unpunished. Upon thee shall I wreak a terrible vengeance. Sons of man, murderers of my children. I shall grind thee beneath my heel, mortal. unyielding. Tremble before the might of the earth. To the last, I grapple with thee. Into the dark. He will not be denied. The Lord of Crags, Great Father Titan has fallen. The crimes of the overdwellers shall never be forgiven. Never be forgotten. No, no, never. 'Twas your king who broke the covenant. We have acted only in defense of our lands. Cease your aggression, or never will there be peace. Until our dying breaths, we shall defy you, deny, decry, defy. Now these are the readings one would expect of an icon. I have seen enough. We proceed as planned. Are you sure that is wise, my lord? Your curiosity is untested and unproven. We do not yet know its true capabilities. Then trust in mine, write it in. My curiosity, as you so eloquently put it, would have bested Titan in the blink of an eye. Why, if there be truth to the legends, it could readily subjugate the whole of Eorzea given but a little while longer. Is that not so? It is. No greater single power has ever been conceived, much less realized. What you say may well be true. But while such devices may win battles, I do not believe they will serve to change the course of this war. Oh, but they will. Have a little faith, my friend. I cannot endorse this course of action. Fool. And now he has a fourth. Fascinating. Carry on, Crystal Bearer. Far though you have come, your work is far from done.
And naught remained to mark his passing. Well, the Ascians are nothing if not elusive. It is of little wonder that they should cast advanced teleportation magics at will. But that they would choose to consort with the Empire. What common goal could they possibly share? I feared I might arrive too late, but I see you had the matter well in hand. I have taken measures to ensure that we are not pursued, yet I cannot say how long they will hold. Take your leave while the kobolds are still in disarray. I will follow anon. There is something I must investigate before I depart. I will teleport you to the Ifirit in Zelma's Run, and we will rendezvous at Camp Bronze Lake. Agreed? I am relieved to see you well. But come, let us discuss our next step.